Yo, hello. It's the Presidential Prepper checking in. Today I have a few special topics for you guys. We'll be doing a sneak peek of my year 2020/pre-2021 gun collection, followed up with a few tips and pointers when it comes to training, and then I'll end it up with a SHTF scenario. Just a thought to ponder on. So before we start the video, man, I would just like to say thank you for watching it. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. This is my first video. I'm sure you guys know that. But I'm really excited. So I didn't even get a haircut. Didn't really get a proper background. But I promise if you stay in tune, we'll have a lot better things coming your way. A little more eye candy in the background and a nicer little trim for you. But let's do it.
They don't know the game. They don't understand. Gang, gang, woo, gang. Made it in the game. I'm just spinning gang. Gang, woo, gang. They don't know the game.
We'll go ahead and get into it as a sneak peek of my late 2020/pre-2021 gun collection. Now, before I do this, I want you guys to understand that it may tick some people off, but just understand my logic, my logic for it. I'm not trying to play any games or nothing like that, but I really have some good logic behind a lot of this. So we'll start out with my baby. This is a gun that has a lot of history behind itself. It is something that, you know, it's a pretty nice toy. I call it a toy, but, you know, no guns are toys. But this is going to be my Red Ryder BB gun. Lever action Red Ryder BB gun. Now, I know you're like, man, I know this guy ain't pull out no BB gun for me. But check out my logic behind it. Seriously. I just showed a BB gun because I want you guys to understand that it really doesn't matter what firearm you prefer. It doesn't matter the EDC that you have. It doesn't matter the home defense gun that you have. It doesn't matter how pretty the beam is, if it's green or it's red. It doesn't matter if the flashlight has 100 looms or if it has 1,000 and you can see down the block. None of that really matters if you're not going to the range and familiarizing yourself with your firearm and understanding how that platform operates. Honestly, I want to say this again, guys. It does not matter what type of firearm you prefer or you carry, as long as you are not going to the range and familiarizing yourself with that firearm, then you're putting yourself at risk. So please go to the range. Please make sure that you train with that firearm so you understand how to handle that. God forbid you ever have to use it, but if you do, you'll at least be well familiarized with that platform. Okay, a few tips about training and going to the range I want to get into real quickly is your ear pro and your eye pro. I wish somebody would have told me this sooner, but you know, when I first started years ago, I went out and I had got me a pair of ear pro from Walmart for about $10, $9.99, and some eye pro. Didn't really think much of it because I didn't want to borrow the ear pro and eye pro at the range. I know they clean it, but I just wasn't a fan of that. So, you know, I didn't put much into it, man. I went and it served its purpose, but I noticed that whenever I would go train with buddies, I couldn't really hear them, and if we were in an indoor range, I knew not to take these off of my ears because it may be people around that were shooting other calibers. So, you know, just to protect my hearing and everything when going out with others, I'll start looking into some different ear pro that I could get, and I came into some pretty nice ones. These were about $40, and I'll have another episode on these, but pretty much these are electronic ear pros, and what they would allow is for you to communicate with your buddies. It'll actually amplify that sound so you can hear them without removing these. And it'll suppress any sound that makes a very loud bang like a firearm. So You can communicate with these. You can pretty much hear everything so that you are able to communicate with your range pals if you have any. When it comes to iPro, another thing, again, when I bought the El Cheapos here, I went out and I just bought like some $5 iPro, and it served its purpose. But again, when the pandemic started and I actually started going out with my mask on, I noticed that they would fog up a lot. And if I wasn't breathing a certain way, then it would fog up while I'm actually trying to, place my my target sights on my target. So I looked into getting some anti-fog iPro, and I also reviewed them in another video as well, but they really came in handy. I actually tried my best to fog them up before going to the range, and I couldn't do it. And they served a well purpose at the range with the mask on. So make sure you put just a little money. It doesn't have to be much, but in your good ear pro and good eye pro, because it's needed. And just an SHTF scenario for you to ponder on. Again, going back to training, man. Just for prime example with me, I was at the range when I first got into the AR platform. I had a malfunction where I would fire around. I would have not necessarily a short stroke or a light primer strike, but the second round, yeah, it was pretty much a light primer strike. I would discharge, fire another round, light primer strike, and the gun jammed. I was not able to remove the round, and I was freaking out a little bit. Didn't want to go home with a live round in the chamber, so I went on YouTube, and I actually found out how to clear that gun simply. It was just pulling that charger handle and banging down on that buffer tube simultaneously, and it cleared it right out. Broke the gun down at the range, did some light cleaning, noticed it was a little crud in the boat carrier group, so I put a little oil on it, put it back in, and it functioned flawlessly. Tested a few different kinds of ammo and different mags. Everything functioned flawlessly. God forbid if you were ever in a SHTF situation and you had an AR and you actually had to use that platform and something like that happened to you, you would really want to know how to utilize that platform and clear it so that you'll be able to protect yourself and your family. Honestly, God forbid that you're ever in a situation where you have to use a firearm and you don't know how to use it. Luckily, I was in a controlled environment, so I was able to place the gun on safety, put it down and review what was needed, and actually get it done. But, in an uncontrolled environment, things could have been a lot different. So, just some things to ponder on, man. Again, if you don't take anything else from this first video, just take away this, that whatever firearm you use as a primary or just as any everyday firearm, make sure that you're going to the range, make sure you're training with it, make sure you're adequate with that platform and you're familiarizing yourself with that platform. Any malfunctions, any type of ammo misfeeds, any certain ammo brands that it may fancy and it may not fancy, you want to make sure that you're familiarizing yourself with that. So thank you guys so much. Hope you tune in for future episodes. Like I say, we'll be getting a lot better. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.